Hey guys, I was inspired by Graham Stephan doing a review on Millennial Money by CNBC, just basically showing how this person in Detroit spends his 250,000 plus income in Detroit. He's a hair salon owner, and I'm just giving my opinion on how he's handling his money. Of course, it's none of my business how he ultimately spends it, but just thought I'd give some commentary. Let me know if you guys like this type of video and want to see more of it in the future, and if you agree or disagree with me. I don't care how old you are, if you are making 280K at any age, let alone 25, you're definitely doing something right. I'm definitely not going to hate on this guy because he already seems to have that grind. We're probably just going to go over more of things that I think are ridiculous that he spends on his money on, but we'll see that later in the video.
But I've really always functioned under the mentality of you need to enjoy your life while you have it, and I knew I never really wanted to die with a bunch of money in the bank.
What was he doing with that blow dryer to his face?
My name is Alex Pardo. I'm 25 years old. I live in Royal Oak, Michigan, just outside of Detroit, and I make $280,000 a year. I am a hairstylist. I own a salon. I do
Okay, I'm gonna ignore those ugly Gucci shirts that he was wearing, but 25, it seems like he's already an entrepreneur that already has a successful business doing people's hair. So much respect for him on that.
So, how my $280,000 gets broken down? About 190 of that comes from doing hair behind the chair with my personal clients, 50,000 in tips, 30,000 with the two kinds of education that I do, and then 10 from the product line.
Okay, he still seems to be making quite a lot of money here, but the only problem I have with this, it seems like a lot of this money isn't very passive. He still seems to need to come to work every single day to be making this money. Makes 190K with his client work, tips 50K. Obviously, all those can't be passive, so that's my only problem here with this. It seems like the only thing that might be passive is the 10K that's he gets from his product line, but he should definitely be working on trying to make that a bit more automated. I'm sure that he has assistants and other workers that help him, but it seems like the bulk of his money he has to personally do it because I'm sure the customers come to see him.
I should, but I don't really have a system to keep track of my money or budget.
Okay, you guys just saw that he spent $2,500 a month on food. What is this man eating? Is he eating gold? Is he eating Bitcoin? What is he eating, man? I don't get it. I don't get how you can even spend that much, even if you tried, on food. This man needs to learn what ramen noodles are.
I really just have that cushion of savings that I put away monthly.
Okay, now this is where I'm really scratching my head. This guy spends $4,100 on cars every single month. Why would you be financing cars when you can just buy them straight up with cash? And also, the amount of money that he's spending on new cars, you can just buy a used car basically every single month with $4,100. And then he's also spending $1,500 a month on those Gucci shirts that he seems to be wearing all throughout this video. Man, come on, man. The Walmart sells clothing for like $10 and it still covers up your body the same way that Gucci does. He's also saving $1,800 a month, which doesn't sound too bad until you figure that he's spending more than double that on cars, and then he's also spending more money on food every month than he is saving. This man is literally eating his savings away. He's also spending $1,800 on disability, life, and renter's insurance, which seems ridiculously high in my opinion. But again, Alex is making $14,500 a month, so I guess he does have the leeway to be splurging a little bit. Of course, it's a lot different than how I would save money.
So lucky me, I live in Detroit where housing isn't wildly expensive. So this is my room, and then I have a bathroom in here, and then this is...
I had this crazy idea. Rather than just having a bunch of bags in your glass doors, how about like bags of money? I feel like that would be more impressive when guests walk by.
My rent with utilities is $2,500 a month. And out of that $2,500, I pay personally about $1,900 of that rent because I split rent with my boyfriend.
Isn't 2,500 divided by 2 like 1,250? How is he paying $700 more than his boyfriend? Something doesn't seem right there.
I have my tray set up. I have my Cardi B prayer candle. You never know when you're going to need to pray to the Cardi B gods. And I have my energy drink. So we're ready to go. Being a salon owner has kind of changed my life in a sense that I don't really work a 9 to 5 anymore. I feel like I work a 24/7.
Again, this is what I was hinting at earlier in the video. It seems like he always needs to be there for this business to be functioning and to be running on all cylinders. It's not really passive until he's able to relax at home and know that the business is still running and making as much money as it would as if he was there. Although I will say that this man really seems to enjoy his job. That's something that you can't really put a price tag on. And I'm sure he's going to be successful at it for a long time because he's just so passionate about it.
Personally can take up to 22 guests in one day, and that's usually a Saturday. It's our longer day. And a hair extension installation takes about 45 minutes, and color can take between 15 and 45. So that's how we can fit that many people in one day.
Do girls really pay this much money for hair highlights? I feel bad because I don't even notice and they spend so much money on it.
So, going to work every morning, I get to choose what car I get to drive. I have two cars. I have a limited edition 2018 Mercedes-Benz G550. That is $2,200 a month. And
Okay, this is even better than I thought. He doesn't have just one luxury vehicle, he has two of them. And he's not even buying them, he's just leasing them. What's wrong with just having one reliable car that gets you from point A to point B?
I have a 2015 BMW i8, and that is $1,300 a month.
I'm sorry, I could just never get behind how somebody can pay this much on a depreciating asset. I personally, I drive a sedan that is very reliable. It's not very flashy, and it gets me from point A to point B. My insurance isn't too high, and that's what I love about it.
You know you're annoying when you have a Birkin in your Birkin. Monthly, I spend between $300 and $3,000 on clothing and accessories. Come into my closet with me. This is my boyfriend's tiny little section. It's all patterned. But this is like the Louboutin.
I don't think I've spent $3,000 on clothing in like the past 5 years combined. And this man is spending $3,000 a month on clothing? How do you even find time to wear all that clothing? There's not enough days in the year to wear as much clothing as this he is buying. Of course, if it cost $1,000 a Gucci sweater, I guess those expenses could really add up. But honestly, he should be donating some of his clothes if he is spending that much money on clothing.
Services for almost everything. We calculated last month that I spent about $2,500 on food delivery services.
I like how he did that little thing with his lip that made it seem like he knew he shouldn't be spending that much on delivery services for eating food, but he still did anyway.
I'm so close to being platinum rewards on Uber Eats.
I'm not sure if spending money to be in a club is the best thing to be proud about.
I have about $77,000 in my checking account right now. I keep a lot in my checking just because I like seeing the number that's in there.
But tell me, how much do you love seeing that inflation?
So it's probably better for me to put it more into my Roth IRA and my brokerage. I don't want to retire at 65, which is why I don't have a 401k. I plan on retiring much earlier. I really want to make $1 million a year, and I know that I can do it.
I think he makes a fair point about the 401k if he's not planning on retiring until he's younger than 60, actually. But I don't know, unless he cuts back on his expenses, it doesn't really matter how much money he's saving. As long as he has all these different liabilities every month, he's going to be continuing to pour all of his income into paying those off. And he should be investing more on himself and what he can do with that money to build more money.
So, how I plan on retiring early is stashing all of that money away in my Roth IRA and my brokerage and my life insurance plan. With all that combined, it's about 3,000 a month, which is pretty aggressive. So,
You know what would be even more aggressive? If you didn't waste all that money on food, clothing, cars, insurance, and instead use that on other assets that could build you more income. But at the end of the day, I have a lot of respect for this guy. He really seems to have that hustle, that work ethic, and he's doing things at big at a very young age. And I have no issue with him wanting to treat himself if he feels he's earned it. The only problem I see is that he thinks that this is kind of a lifestyle that you could always sustain. And I'm not saying that he can't sustain this for the rest of his career, but you never know what could happen tomorrow. What if something happens with a customer that leaves a very bad review and then he loses all of his business and all of his close clients? What if his business gets shut down? Who knows? I'm just throwing out some really random scenarios. The thing is, you can't predict the future. Just because he's making a lot of money now doesn't mean that's very sustainable for the rest of his career. So he should always be cautious about that. And I don't know, definitely very inspired by this guy. Let me know what you guys think about me making this type of video if you want to see more of it. As always, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel.